Just about 3 weeks back, I left my job to start my journey as an artist. I would like to share my story with you and why I quit, how I did it, and what are the next steps. So, my story doesn't start with childhood. I am not someone who wanted to become an artist forever. I actually like to draw, but I was, a kid in the 90s. We did not have internet or we did not have smartphones. We were just, hanging out, drawing, watching movies or reading and stuff like that. So it's not really a thing that counts as artistic. Long story short, by the time I was 16, I decided that I want to be a physicist. So I went to university and studied physics. Later on, I changed to material science. I also have a PhD in material science, and my forever dream was to work at CERN in Geneva. If you don't know CERN, it's a European organization for particle physics. This is not my field, but I was working there as a microscopist. So by the age of 31, my big dream became true and I could work at CERN in Geneva. And I spent there almost 3 years as scientist. It was great, but that time COVID and lockdown actually came to the picture. And as I was always working in the lab, I didn't have much to do in home office. I had a lot of time to spend for myself and I could go out for walks, long walks with my dog, or I could spend a lot of time in nature, spend a lot of time with my partner who was that time working in Zurich, and we were always commuting, but with the COVID we could stay for quite a long time in one place. I realized that this drastic change in my life, that it slowed down so much. I wasn't in a hurry all the time, and I just realized how much I was missing being outside, because these laboratories that I worked in were mostly in basements or rooms without windows. I usually spent the majority of the day inside, so I didn't go out much, I didn't see the sunlight much, especially during winter. And I just realized that I miss it so much. And also that time I had quite more free time to paint. I picked up my brushes that I long forgotten and my acrylic paint. That time I used acrylic paint. And later on, when I moved back to Zurich, moved back together with my fiance, I got a permanent position in a super nice company. I was super excited for a new life. And I also planned that I want to take my art more seriously. I could imagine slowly transitioning to an art career in the course of 5-10 years. So I know that it will be difficult, it will be hard to work full-time and then come home, work on the art. And I even hired a coach. Without him, I most probably could not have made this step that I'm talking about. So I'm super grateful for him. Actually I could balance my full-time job with my art for quite a long time. I even made a video on this, so if you are interested, then you can find it in the description. But the problems start to happen when I picked up also YouTube and I created my channel. I had to learn so many new things and I fell in love with the process so much that I was full of energy and enthusiasm, and I just really wanted to do it. So I ended up sleeping 5-6 hours per day. I thought that I can do this. I was still full of energy, and after about 3-4 months I realized that most probably this will not work out long term and I will burn out in the whole process. It was clear that I will not be able to do 5-10 years with this lifestyle. So I either go back and just treat art as a hobby and do it whenever I have the free time, or I quit my job. That time I started to actually seriously think about that option as reality, and I sat down and started to plan what would be the next steps, what I have to do if I actually want to consider this path as a realistic option. But the point is that it was not that easy to decide. I wouldn't just give up something that is a job. that I hate. No, it was giving up a career. I worked for this for, quite a long time and I built up something in the course of almost 20 years. I studied super hard. I gave up so many things. I sacrificed a lot to be where I am at this moment. And I was thinking about all the missed summer breaks, festivals, I don't know, Christmas holidays, family holidays, the times when my friends were chilling out and I was studying inside a room for years and years. And was it all for nothing? Do I really have to turn around my life just for this artsy thing? Being a realistic person, I tried to convince myself. I was even guilty that why I am not happy and I am not satisfied with what I have. Most of the people in the world would be extremely happy to take the position that I am in and the life that I am living. And why I just cannot be happy and why I just have to do all this change and why I would affect everyone else around me. And on the top of everything, why I want to succeed in something, why I expect to succeed in something in which I have zero education. And am I not too old to start a new career? In the end, I ended up actually to create a list of advantages why you should consider art later in life, and I made a video. So if you are interested, then you can check it out. So I had to actually consider also these emotional questions and existential questions, but deep inside I always knew which one is my love project, which would make me happier and which would change my life. And I knew that even if I won't be able to make money from my art, I can still try and do it. And most probably I would actually regret if I would not give a chance to it at this stage. Yeah, but finally I realized that all these thoughts are basically coming from fear and it's just natural and normal and I just have to deal with them and I have to do it anyway. So after I made the decision, I had to sit down and see my finances. And I needed to see how much money I have, how long I can survive even if I don't sell a single piece of my art. And what I realized is that I cannot just quit the next day. I have to work at least 6 to 7 more months to save more money, and I have to drastically cut back on my spendings. I also realized that majority of the things that I am buying I actually don't need. So I could create a more minimalistic lifestyle and cut back on stuffs that I did not really need. Whenever I wanted to buy something new, I asked myself, do I really need this? Would it make me happier if I buy this rather than spending, I don't know, 5 more days free as an artist? And usually the other option, the second option won. So I could, with this mentality, I could keep the money in my pocket instead of spending on unnecessary things and consumption. So what was my aim is to leave my job once I have enough savings that could support me for at least 1.5 years with this minimalistic lifestyle without the help from anyone else. There is one thing I would like to tell you about this. If you are not earning already from your art, I would never recommend to quit your day job if you don't have already sufficient amount of savings. I think that it is pretty important to have a safety net to be able to pay your rent and your bills, and if you are not able to do that, then you should not quit your job just like that. My original plan was also to build up my art slowly in the course of 5-10 years and slowly transition to an art career, and I think that this is the safest way you can do it. And if you have the time and if you can balance your art with your full-time job, or you can maybe do part-time job, then this is a recommended way and I would definitely recommend you to do that rather. Also, it's a very good idea to talk to your spouse or partner or family, tell them what you want. If they are supportive, they would always have your back and they would always give you emotional support when you need to keep on track. And balance better your life. I also heard many stories where the spouses or partners could financially support the person who wanted to become an artist. This is also a good option. If your partner can afford to financially support you, dare to ask for help, and maybe you can get in the end what you want, and you build up your business, and until then they can support you. The fact that I did not want to ask support from my partner is a personal decision, and I think that it's totally okay to ask for help if you actually need it. So I didn't only want to estimate the financial status, but also wanted to estimate more or less the improvement of the work of my art in the course of 1.5 years. So I took a reference, which would have been myself working full-time, doing my art on the side, and how much I can achieve in that 5 years. I already knew how much I work per week on an average. I summed this up to the course of a 5 years period, and I calculated that if I do full-time art for 1.5 years, then how much I can catch up myself compared to the 5 years period. So if I want to get the same improvement during 1.5 years, how much do I have to work for it per week? And actually the result was very promising. What came out is that I have to work 36.5 hours per week in average if I want to catch myself up. And actually, that's really good. I mean, I can do that, and I can do even more. I can easily work 40 hours a week on my art. And so this is not too bad. But of course, regarding social media, 5 years compared to 1.5 years is not the same. Showing your art continuously for 5 years can most probably bring more followers, more subscribers compared to 1.5 years. But on the other hand, if my content is better because I can put more energy in it, be more consistent, and I can bring better quality, then maybe it's in the end not too bad. So the next step was to quit my job. This was actually one of the hardest things I have done in a very, very long time. On the day I knew that I want to tell my boss that I quit, all the negative thoughts, all the fears came back, but like 10 times more enhanced. I was even reading about like failure stories because I thought, hey, why am I only looking the successful people? Maybe they are just 10% or 1%, and 99% of the people did the same step, but I never know about them because they did not succeed. And I wanted to know the other side, and actually it's good because I learned from it, but I pushed through the fear, and I told my boss that I want to quit my job because I want to become an artist. It was very difficult. He was a very good boss, a very nice guy, and he told me, let's take a few steps back and think a little bit for a few more days. He offered me to do my job part-time if I want. Yeah, I was thinking a few days about that. I scratched my head, but in the end, to be honest, by the time I did this step, I didn't just want more time to paint. I wanted a complete lifestyle change. I wanted to spend more time outside. I wanted to spend more time reading, learning, do more exercise, go for swimming, go for jogging whenever I want. I just wanted to fill myself up with new and different energy, and I just wanted to be free. I wanted to slow down. I didn't want to be in a hurry anymore. After a few days of thinking, I got back to him and I told my final decision that I quit. I agreed though that I stay more than my 3 months notice period, so I ended up with 4 more months of work, and yeah, I am free since 3 weeks. And I must tell you, I am super happy. It's a completely different world to be at home, work on my art, work on the videos. Although of course the first 2 weeks were like super scattered. I was all over the place. I am still a bit all over the place because I have so many plans and I don't even know where to start. So I am just picking up a little bit this new life. I just have a little bit of taste of it. And the scary thoughts, they come and go still, but I am super happy and I am slowly picking up a good working pace and a good schedule of my day. And I know that I am just in the beginning of this whole process. Like, I have to learn so much, and not only about painting, but I want to set up my own company. I need to plan and strategize my possible income sources. I want to learn about cinematography, about video editing, about social media marketing, and so many more topics. But what I know for sure is that I am full of painting ideas. I want to do my best to put them on a canvas how I imagined, and this is what drives me. I want to become a better artist. Through my art, I want to tell a story, I want to communicate to people, pick up philosophical or spiritual questions, talk about the humanity, its beauty and its problems. I want to talk about serious topic or playful topics. I want to create some art that in some levels speaks to everyone. And I know that this is very difficult and this will be a journey with a lot of ups and downs, but I am getting ready for it. And I am more than happy to share this with you. So if you feel like, then just subscribe to my channel. Also check out my other videos. I would be also happy to know about your thoughts. So just share it in the comments section if you feel like. And thank you so much for watching this video. And I wish you a nice day and hope to see you soon. Bye.